everyone, Tony Winston here for Jazz Piano College. Got a bunch of requests that I'm going to try to get done this morning or by tomorrow anyway, and one of them is called Lover Man, and this was sung by Linda Ronstadt. Sarah Vaughan's got a really incredible version of it. Also Julie London, and I listened to the Stan Getz recording, and I've got a chart right here that you can print out down in the description. It's in the key of F, and I believe Linda Ronstadt does it Linda Ronstadt's version is up a fifth. And that's pretty typical for girl singers to take these old charts, which were mostly written by guys in New York, chomping on cigars, working up in the sixth floor of some building somewhere, cranking out these great songs. And so typically they're, not in the range of a girl singer, so you have to transpose them, and usually transposing them up a fourth or a fifth is the way to go. But we're going to cover it right here in the key that we've got. And, it starts with a 2-5 that looks like it might be in the key of C, because it's D minor and G, but we are in the key of F. So, what am I going to cover on this song? I don't know. I'm going to give you the free sheet music. That's the main thing. And just cover some possible reharm ideas and a little bit of soloing or something like that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're starting off with the D minor 7th, and I'm using a closed voicing here. And no matter what you hear from other tutorialists on YouTube about how jazz musicians hate these closed voicings, it is not true. I mean, sometimes they just sound the best. I could have started, with a lower thing here, maybe and done like this, but it's almost the same, right? What are you going to do? Put the 7th down here? I don't think so. That's the low interval limit for this interval, right? You can't go any lower than that with that interval, or it starts to sound muddy, and even this is kind of iffy. So why not just play a nice little thing here? And then, of course, this one we can open up a little bit. Berklee College of Music formula would be 1, 7, 3, 5, 1, but we could take that 5 and move it to a 6, but it's more precisely called a 13. And on a dominant chord, typically in a jazz tune, if once you leave out the 5, then you're free to put things like the flat 5, or sometimes it's called the sharp 11, and the 13. And so you could use a rich chord like that. You could even put a 9 in, or even a flat 9 if you could figure out how to do it. But let's keep it simple for now. Now on the G minor, it's perfectly fine. Down on D minor, a little bit low. Not terrible, but just a little too low. So G minor, and typically now this is played as a C11th. I mean, I heard this on most of the recordings. But, all right, it's exactly like a 2 chord. All you do is, where are you going next? You're going to the C. So move the bass there first, and you've got a suspended chord or an 11th chord. No, I don't think I'd put that note in because that's where we're going melody-wise. So maybe something like a tritone substitution there. And then here, the chart doesn't say put a sharp 9 in, but that's the melody note. And so, really you're just thinking blues here. Because where's it going? To the 4 chord. I also heard it played just as a minor chord. All right, and then B flat. So no need to add too much to this chord, because look at the melody. You've got 13 and then the 9. So, if you were going to be using a rootless voicing or something, you'd use this, which has the 13 and the 9, or this, which has the 13 and the 9, because it's just an inversion of this. All right. most of the time what I heard, and this was on the Linda Ronstadt version, even though it was in a different key, I'm taking her ideas, Nelson Riddle's ideas. Just go to the E flat here. You don't have to precede it by its relative 2, and just play the melody. And the melody she does goes up a little bit here and just goes to the C 7th. And ended there. I mean, I could have done it down here or something like this, I suppose. But, you know, mixing in closed voicings, especially when the melody's low, there's nothing wrong with that. And F major 7th, you know, if you're going to play one of these kind of voicings, you get the minor 9th there, even if you do it as a closed voicing. Now, you know, to me it's a beautiful sound. I kind of like it, but typically it's going to be a 6th chord. All right, let's play it again. And that's what Linda Ronstadt sings, so it doesn't quite fit the chord progression. Here you could do a 2-5, but I never heard anybody do it. I just heard them go from to the E7 sharp 9, and then we've got A minor. Now we could add stuff to the A minor, but because we're going to have this little moving line here, all right, the Stairway to Heaven sound. All right, so. So that little triangle means, you know, a major 7th. Triangle always means major. And, you know, we can just do it like this. All right, taking some reharms from I don't know where. Yeah, that's kind of a weird way to do it. C major to B minor and then on to G minor. Doesn't exactly make sense. Let's see if we can come up with something better. First, I'll do this a slightly different way. So. Maybe just walking it down would be the way to go. All right, Berklee College of Music voicing would be, you know, 1-5-3-7-3. Down in the description, I keep putting up a link to these Berklee College of Music open voicing chord formulas. Just go. So a couple ways to reharmonize this. F major to the tritone, taking it to B flat major, and then A, like probably an altered dominant there. Or another way would be just go to B flat major right away, then E minor 7 flat 5. And notice that nice rootless voicing there. You know, we've used that for C dominant, and you know, you could use it for G minor 6, but it also works for E minor 7 flat 5, also called E half diminished, and then on to our altered dominant, and then we're back to our verse again. I've written something here. Instead of B flat to E flat. You could reharmonize that, and this is a more typical chord progression would be A flat, D flat, then G, C. Just a half step above, 2, 5, then 2, 5, 1. Now, that's kind of a backdoor way of getting to F, B flat to E flat to F. So it's like they use two different, I'll say 2, 5, 1s to get there. The backwards way, that's where you're on the 4 chord to the flat 7 chord. And then why not do the other way? All right, and that alteration in melody is really pretty standard now. So if you sing it this way, that sounds good. But I think if you sang it the way it was written, people would think, you're singing it wrong. Little improvising. So stay on the white keys here. Now we're going to the F major scale because it's a 2, 5, 1 in F. And now we get to F7th, and just think blues. More blues. Almost sounds like Goodbye Pork Pie Hat there. Too fast. Let me try that last verse again. I'm targeting kind of the cool notes. The 11, the 13. The 13 there. The 9 there, so starting on the 11th of D. Kind of try to do the same thing on the G minor and C. And there I use that A flat, D flat change. I think I heard Stan Getz do it that way. So I don't know, I got all different arrangements floating around in my head. Have fun with this song. If you want to transpose it, just the way I do it is first I have to have the melody really solid in my head. I've got to know the melody. And then, I just think about, I don't try to think, okay, I had a D minor, let me move it up a fifth and play it like that. I don't do it that way. I remember, what kind of chords I was playing. Like when it starts on D minor, you think it's a 2 chord because it's 2, 5, 1 and C. But it's really the 6 chord of F, right? F, sixth note up. That makes it a sixth chord. So I think whatever key I'm in, I'm going to start on the sixth chord. All right, so if I'm going to move it up to the key of, let's move it up to the key of C. I'll start on A minor, and I think that's where Linda Ronstadt sings it. And then I got to have that melody firmly in my mind. And change it. And the way she sings it is like... goes to a D minor and then back to a D7. That's what it sounded like to me on the Nelson Riddle recording, but who knows? I mean, it doesn't sound like that would be right, but that's kind of what it sounds like. All right. Sometimes I have girl singers out there that, want to sing this song. So I think I'll do just a little introduction, and then I'll start the song. I'll play a little bit of melody so you know exactly, that you're in the right spot, and I'll just play the chords for you, and you can sing it. How about that? All right? Wish me luck on this, since I just now learned the song in this key. So our first thing is going to be, all right, so I need an intro. Lover Man.